confirm and make sure that we are live and ready to go. Waiting for it to catch up. Waiting for it to mustard. Oh, never mind. Says now live. But it's not showing up as live.
We're live.
Oh, we are live? Okay. I'm just bobbing my head back and forth for nothing, waiting for this to catch up on my end. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the return to the live episode format of Next Gen Newsweek. Obviously, I'm not where I normally am, and my audio quality is not as good as usual, but it's okay. We're going to make it through. My name is Mitch. Joining me this morning, we have Richard.
Hello.
Michael.
Howdy.
And Chase.
Hello, hello.
Chase also woke up like 10 minutes ago, so. So anyway, yeah, it's been a little bit since we've been able to record, and thought we would try to mix things up and go back to live format to get everyone back in the mood for that stuff, because I like doing the live show, especially whenever people are also awake and they're able to get in the chat and talk to us and, get to engage with you guys. So don't have any announcements or anything unless you guys have anything. So I guess we'll go ahead and just jump straight into what everyone's been playing. We haven't recorded a show in like 3 weeks, so I'm assuming some people, probably like Chase, have like a catalog. Yeah, he like looking at his phone like, oh my god, there's so many games.
I feel like I've probably forgotten stuff.
There's so many games.
What is a video game?
Yeah, I know we've all been playing Pokemon Legends Arceus. That is kind of like, I think it's one of the first games that we've all been playing at the same time that we're able to actually talk about. Usually there's like one of us that's not really into a game that the other three are playing or so. But yeah, we'll talk about Pokemon Legends a little bit later in the show. But if there's anything,
So the C is pronounced like a K?
Yeah, it's Arceus.
Okay.
Arceus.
I'm glad that I've been saying that wrong this entire time.
I always thought it was Arceus until they put out a trailer and they're like, Pokemon Legends Arceus coming out in January. It's like, oh, okay.
I like
Pokemon
it better.
Legends RC Cola.
Pokemon Legends Algebra. Anyway, so I guess we'll pass over Pokemon Legends for now, but anything else that you guys have been playing that you want to talk about? Let's Richard, do you have anything else you remember, or do you want to come back to
I feel like I'm gonna leave some stuff out. I rolled credits on the Company Man, which I don't know what all platforms that's on. I haven't seen it on PlayStation. It might just be Nintendo Switch, maybe PC. It's a cool action platformer about working your way to the top. There's a story that doesn't really matter. It's only $20. You can go through it in a few days if you like action combat platformers. It was pretty cool. I rolled credits on Metroid Dread, Subnautica Below Zero, Loop Hero. I finished a really long demo of a game that's not yet released, Planet Crafters, on Steam. Which Planet Crafters is kind of like Subnautica. It's a survival game, but instead of underwater, you're just on a planet with no atmosphere. And currently, I'm still playing Loop Hero. It's a really experimental game. There are hidden bosses. I fought one this morning. It took forever, but it does have a different ending that involves your entire game crashing.
Oh.
I thought that was pretty cool. And Pokemon Legends. I've been playing a lot of Elder Scrolls Online. And I've been piddling with Dead Cells a little bit. I don't really want to get so deep into anything because Elden Ring is just around the corner. So I'm trying to keep things open. So that's where I'm at.
Nice. Michael, what have you been playing?
Just Pokemon.
Yeah.
Just that.
Do you think this is going to be the first game that you ever beat?
Yeah.
The good news is that you can count it either way because it has 3 different points in the game where you technically beat it. So even if you could beat it and also not beat it, that way it's on both records. So.
Nipples are hard just thinking about it.
Somehow I'm sure that falls into a crossover game. The game you can beat and not beat at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like Animal Crossing.
Yeah, exactly. Chase, let's hear it. I'm sure there's a lot.
Okay. Let's see. I played and beat Scarlet Nexus, which was very, very interesting game. The combat was really, really weird, but like once you got used to the combat, I thought it was a really cool game. Star Wars Fallen Order, I played the PS5 version of that, and I was like really impressed by like how the graphics looked on that. And then I was like telling my coworker about that, and he was like, "Well, if you played it on PC, you could play it at way higher frame rates." And I was like, "Well, okay." But
if you did
I
this,
yeah, I was like, "All right, whatever." It was a lot of fun replaying that game. And they did announce that they are officially working on a sequel to that, so
Nice.
I'm excited for that. I went back and finished Goose Game because I, for some reason, never finished that game. I've been playing, Scourgebringer, which is like a roguelike Metroidvania type game. It was kind of cool. It's like but it almost feels like a button masher game, so I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings on that. I played through Metro Exodus. Like someone suggested it was like kind of like a Fallout type game, but it didn't really kind of feel like Fallout. But it was like I enjoyed. I mean, the story was kind of cool, but I mean, I thought it was kind of like a very very difficult survival game, but it was really cool. I played Epic Dumpster Bear 2 because it was on sale.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually better than the first one. So it was kind of fun. I played the Lost in Random. I know me and Steven were talking about that a while back, but it's like a card game, like a dice game. So yeah, you roll your dice for points, and then based on the points you have, you can use cards to like use abilities and stuff. And it's really really cool. I highly suggest you check it out. The world looks very Tim Burton-ish. It's really, really great. Marsupilami Hoop Adventure, which I got because I thought it was going to look like a Donkey Kong type game, but it's like it's like a little platformer game. It was all right. I went to Oberdin, Return of the Oberdin, that black and white game that's on the ship, and you're like a detective. That was sort of like really cool, very, very, very interesting game. And then Pokemon. Yeah, I've been playing that. So
Yeah.
Man, I play Pokemon.
Yeah, probably play Pokemon. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My list is a lot shorter. It started with Pokemon, and then I got through the first ending in Pokemon. And I was like, I'm at a good spot with this. I have to obviously get all the Pokemon. I'm not actually done with the Pokedex, but we'll talk about that. I've started Dying Light 2, and it is just senseless zombie killing fun if you're someone who likes it. It's like it's terrifying as shit playing the game during the night. It's not as terrifying as the first game, at least yet, because the amount of infected that are available during the night in the first game, at least as of right now, are not in the second game. So far, though, like the story's kind of stupid, but I get cool weapons. I can strap flamethrowers to my knives, and I can set zombies on fire. The combat, though, is incredible. It's all melee. Like the first game had guns in it. They made it very clear from the beginning of this game that there are no guns. They've taken someone confiscated all the guns. They got rid of them, or at least as of right now, that they're making it seem like that. But this game kind of focuses more on like classes because they want you to play the game online co-op with friends. So you got like your tank, ranger, medic, assassin classes and all that stuff, and they each have their own skills. And then Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels, which I won't play that game online anymore because people piss me off so much.
Oh.
I'll play with friends, but I'm not playing against people that will just dump hundreds of dollars into that game and build up these decks where they just do all their shit in one turn. Like this morning, I had a little bit of time to kill. So you know what? Maybe yesterday was just a bad day. I'm gonna try to play this online again. and I had built a really nice deck. It's a deck that I actually own like a physical version of, and I put it in the game. And it's like, okay, the duel starts, and then the person I'm playing with takes like 10 minutes to do their first turn because they're doing so much crap. And it's like, dude, you guys are taking this children's card game. Yes, it's a children's card game playing as an adult. I get it. But, like, just stop. Like, play it for fun. Like, the whole goal of this game obviously is to win, but, like, you just sucking the fun out of this damn game. Like, it's annoying. But I don't know. They're lucky that game doesn't have voice chat or text chat, because I'd get banned from online play because of all this shit I just want to tell these damn people. Like, end your fucking turn. Just come on, let's go. It reminds me of being in next level games in Rivergate, trying to participate in one of these tournaments, but there's just all these stinky people in there that just walked over from Target with their because that Target had a Pizza Hut in it, and they would get these greasy ass pizzas, and they would just come over there and not shower and just stink up the place. And those are the people I play against online. So
beautiful.
Yes. Anyway, so our headlines for this week, we got a lot of stuff to talk about with Nintendo. Obviously, we're going to be talking about Pokemon Legends. There's a Nintendo Direct.
This is a really long show.
It is. So this is going to be a
We've
long
just
one.
started. I just know.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
There's
I'll remind everybody, when we're still talking tomorrow morning, I'll be like, do y'all remember when we started this yesterday? This is crazy.
We'll try to keep it at an hour and a half-ish, maybe. We'll see. There is a Nintendo Direct that is inconveniently happening this afternoon and not right before we recorded or yesterday. So thanks, Nintendo. So we'll give a couple predictions towards the end of the show. We do have some Grand Theft Auto 6 news. Trying to get the sun out of the camera shot, because like every time I adjust the laptop, the sun just shifts and it just keeps coming in through that window. So yeah, we do have Grand Theft Auto 6 news to talk about, some sales stuff, everyone's favorite thing to talk about, numbers and everything, and yeah, and some Ghostwire Tokyo gameplay that finally got revealed, so we actually get to talk about how that game actually looks. So first up, though, let's talk about Grand Theft Auto. There are actually two stories that came out from Rockstar. The first one is not like an official thing, but kind of some statisticians and mathematicians, and God, that sun is annoying. Oh my God, wrong way.
Oh my God.
Jeez, there's no getting rid of that. Oh my gosh, I might have to move. Anyway, but yeah, the whole thing with them, Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, potentially has sold, even as this may have to deal with the sun, I'm sorry, may potentially have sold 10 million copies since it came out. When was that? The end of December or something like that, which is crazy for that game considering how much of a broken mess it is. And I don't think any of us bought the GTA trilogy, did we?
No.
I'm still waiting on the PS5 version, if it even comes out. I don't even know if it'll come out.
Yeah. So, yeah, apparently it sold 10 million copies, which is, I guess it's just because people don't know the state of that game. They're just like, oh my gosh, it's Grand Theft Auto. I've only been waiting 10 years for a new one. And that's just kind
And you didn't even get that.
Yeah. You didn't even get it. You didn't even get a new one. You got a broken state of a bad one. Oh my God, the sun's bothering me so bad. Let's go this way. How about that? No?
I wish someone's daughter would bother me.
Oh, hold up. Talk to the hand. Talk to the hand,
Look,
son.
just do the whole podcast like this.
Hey, you know what? Whatever works. Just someone Photoshop something stupid in my hand later. Chase and Michael are already scheming, I know. But they did confirm that Grand Theft Auto 6 is in development. Finally, we already knew that, I think, or we kind of thought so. But it is potentially coming. I know we've talked before about like our predictions for anything about GTA 6, but since the last time we've done that, does anyone have any thoughts about the direction that GTA 6 may take, or things that a wish list of things that they would like to see in Grand Theft Auto 6?
I think, unfortunately, they're going to take the predictive route. I think that everybody's kind of anticipating that's going to take place in Vice City because that's the city that we've not been to in this current sort of, the last time we saw it was early 2000s with Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And since then, we've had kind of like an updated look at Liberty City with GTA 4. And then, we've had, San Andreas for a decade now. So, there's that, I don't know, there's a billboard, the trilogy that was released that I guess it alludes to Vice City, which to me was kind of a no-brainer. I don't know, my problem is that, it's been so damn long. It's been 10 years. We've not seen anything. I actually think I used to love Grand Theft Auto, but I've left it. I have no anticipation about Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm not like one of those, yeah. I'm already moved past it. So I think they're in a point now where I don't want to say they could lose it, but I think they've lost some attention to the series. And I think if they do something that's predictable, I don't know how well that's going to go over.
Yeah.
It's not going to go over well with me. I've said, and I've mentioned it in chat, and, it's been completely dead air because I guess you guys don't watch television. But there's a show called Yellowstone
Yep.
with Kevin Costner that, my God, that would be such a badass Grand Theft Auto. I didn't realize how gangster it was or could be to own a ranch. And I'll keep this short. The premise is Kevin Costner plays a guy named Dutton, John Dutton. He owns the largest cattle ranch in the country. And, they supply restaurants and all this stuff. It's what a cattle ranch is. But they're borderline on with Yosemite Park, and they're also borderline. They're also borderline with an Indian reservation. I don't know if this is true about Indian reservations. I'm going to assume that they do research before they do these shows. But an Indian reservation is almost like their own little country. They got their own form of government. They got a lot of things set up. So there's so many different pieces in play that could make a good Grand Theft Auto. And I think they could actually kind of merge some of what they do with Red Dead with Grand Theft Auto and make, something really different instead of something that we all expect. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to take the safe route, but I wish they would do something different.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think they're going to, I think one of the rumors for a while was that they were going to do like a smaller map like at launch, and then they were going to keep expanding on it. So maybe the smaller map would mean that things would, like the game would be able to come out sooner rather than later, and then they could keep adding on to it as they go. I think that would be a way to go about it. And the Yellowstone thing, like I'm sure they can make it, like if they followed a similar path with that, they could make it work with GTA, but that seems like it's more of like a Red Dead type of scenario than a...
Yeah, but it's modern day. And you don't know how, like when you work at the Dutton Ranch, like when they're done with you, then Rip takes you to the train station. And yeah, you go to the train station and you don't come back from the train station. It's such a good... And see, this thing, if you watch the show, if they did make a Grand Theft Auto that was like Yellowstone, you wouldn't be Kevin Costner's character. You would be Rip Wheeler. Rip Wheeler is so badass. He would be the protagonist that you would portray.
I want to.
Y'all don't watch the show. Y'all have no clue what I'm talking about. But
what is TV?
I want to watch it, but at the same time, I don't want to buy Paramount Plus. So.
Yeah, but you can get like the first season at Walmart for $20. Drop in the hat.
Yeah, but I'm a stickler for if I'm going to buy a movie physically, it better be on a 4K Blu-ray and not a DVD.
Oh my God.
I don't have a fucking PS5 and a 4K HDR
Yeah, but
TV.
you could have played it at a higher frame rate if you'd played on PC.
Look, all I'm saying is that all the stuff I own is made for 4K. So why am I going to watch a DVD that plays in 1280 by 720 and it gets stretched
It's
up?
a badass show.
Yeah, and I want to
That's
be able to
why.
experience it. They're like, they're
Oh my
perfect.
god, experience it. Then fucking go to Montana and just like or North
Download it
Dakota
off
or
the
something.
internet so you can watch it in like 240i.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch a new Rockstar's recap of Yellowstone or something, if that exists.
Not that I've played any of the GTA games, but I wouldn't mind seeing like a semi-futuristic version. You know, like not like, you know, flying cars and shit and teleportation, but just like maybe like 20, 30 years into the future where they got like see-through phones and, you know, just a lot of amenities.
I feel
mean,
like
that would be nice.
the last Watch Dogs was that, like the Watch Dogs Legion. It was like futuristic, but not like way like futuristic.
What I'm interested in seeing is, you know, there's so much political commentary and social commentary like under the surface, like with their humor. You know, they're very non-PC. And just with everything over the past few years, I'm wondering, because, you know, it's not having that conversation. Everybody knows how divisive things are now. Are they still going to like step over that line and push boundaries, or are they going to like pull back a little bit and try and play it safe?
I think
that could hurt them too. I think a lot of people are playing it with the expectation that they will push back and push back hard, and I hope they do. You know, that was part of what gave them that allure. But I'm kind of curious. You know, it's got to have something to do with COVID. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff to make fun of, and I hope that they don't. You know, I hope they don't wear kid gloves with any topic.
I would say that personally, I would think that GTA is like the South Park of video games. Where South Park doesn't give a shit. They'll make fun of everyone and everything and not give a fuck who they.
And that was part of their charm. And I think they used to be like that. I just wonder if they still are.
Yeah. So yeah, any final things, the wish list things about GTA 6 before we move on?
It's gonna have to be like very, very ambitious. I mean, and I think they know that because. Where the older games, they were all story based, and where the newer games, they have to think of not only as the story, but they have to think of the games as a live service. So that's the reason I think it's taken so long, because they've got a plan. I mean, this is going to be a 10-year game. So
yeah. Do you think that GTA Online, as it is now, will somehow be implemented into GTA 6, where like your character and like your money that you've put into the game will somehow be able to be transferred over? Maybe not your rank and like levels and stuff, but like, you know, just like your personal characters, like, oh, I'm going on vacation, and they go to GTA 6 or something and bring their money with them.
it's possible. Yeah.
If you're white, yeah, but like if you're like a different color race, no.
See, it's edgy, man. To answer the question in the show notes, I do think GTA 6, we see it before Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah. Anyone else the same? Everyone feel the same way about that?
Yeah. We're a while from Elder Scrolls.
Yep. I mean, I imagine with Starfield coming out in November, they'll probably take 3 or 4 months off, and then they'll.
Well, unless you play Elder Scrolls Online, then we got new year-long content coming here in a second.
Wow, it's crazy. It's already here.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so there was also 2 state of plays that I guess the Ghostwire thing was a state of play. I know the Gran Turismo state of play happened last week, and then they also the Ghostwire thing was a state of play too, right? Or was it just a gameplay?
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, they didn't. I don't think they technically called it a state of play, but I watched both of them. They were both very, very impressive.
Yeah. So, Ghostwire Tokyo, which we didn't have a release date, but it kind of got leaked. It was coming out. It's March 25th, correct? Yeah. So, in the month of March, Gran Turismo 7 coming out the front of it, and Ghostwire Tokyo coming out on the back of it. Chase, what do you think about the gameplay demonstration for Ghostwire?
It looked really cool. Like, I mean, visually looked really, really interesting. I feel like it's like, instead of weapons, you're just using your hands to craft spells or whatever, or summon things. But it looked really cool. I'm definitely going to check that out. Like, I was kind of on the fence about it because it's kind of, I don't know, a little goofy looking, but I don't know. It looks cool. Like I really definitely want to check it out.
I want to try it. Maybe not when it comes out. And the goofy hand magic, it just kind of reminds me a little bit of BioShock and how they have that weird goofy hand magic too that they do.
Mm-hmm.
So, Richard, Michael, did y'all watch the Ghostwire presentation?
I
I
did.
did not.
Michael's not doing his homework.
I wasn't. I was on the fence too, but for a different reason. I wanted Evil Within 3. It's the same people, right? And yeah.
Mark?
Huge fan of Evil Within. Even bought the comic books when they did their limited run. And it's not Evil Within, so I didn't like that aspect of it. But with Evil Within, I think that team does a really good job at creating a sort of. I've said this about other games, and I really enjoy this aspect. If you can somehow make it feel like you're having a nightmare. It's an odd thing to say, but sometimes a good nightmare is awesome to have.
Yeah.
So if I'm playing a game and it just feels like it's got this weird sort of surreal, creepy nightmare-like vibe, I'm gonna be into it. And I think that they do that well. They did it well in Evil Within 1 and 2, and from the look of it, it looks like they've pulled it off again. So yeah, I'm more interested now than I was before that state of play or whatever that was.
Yeah. It's like everything else. Like, there's so many games coming out that in this month still and next month. Like, you got to prioritize which ones you're going to get. And this comes out the same day as Kirby. Like,
I know.
you pick your battles on that one.
There's a lot coming out at the end of March.
Yeah. And Saints Row was originally going to be like that same week, too. Like, there was about to be another big AAA game coming out then.
Oh, man, it's a good thing they passed that back. Maddie would have been pissed. I'm like, no, we're not getting Kirby this week.
Yeah. Speaking of Kirby and Nintendo, we have some numbers to talk about. I'm not going to try to make this boring, I guess. But Nintendo Switch has outsold the Nintendo Wii, hitting 100 million units of I guess it's every Switch combined with this. So yeah, it is now the 5th best-selling console of all time, behind the PS. It's about to pass PS4, or probably already has. It's only like 3 or 4 million units behind, if I'm remembering my numbers right. And it's still got to do the Game Boy line, the DS line, and then the PS2, which is like 50 million units away. It potentially, I don't know, people are skeptical of whether it will cross the PS2 and be the best-selling console of all time. But it's very likely that they will become at least the second best-selling console, because there's not a big gap. There's a big gap. I think it's the Game Boy. It's the Game Boy's number 2, and then there's like a huge 30-40 million unit gap between that and the PS2. Because the PS2 could also be used as a DVD player, which is why everyone always bought them. Because it was cheaper to buy a PS2 than it was to buy a DVD player a long time ago, for all you young people that watch this show.
And then the same thing for the PS3 as a Blu-ray player.
Yep. Except the PS3 when it came out cost $600. So
yeah.
But a Blu-ray player was $800.
That is true. And so you saw the same thing again with the Xbox One X, I believe, because the 4K Blu-ray players were like $300, and you could buy One S that had a 4K Blu-ray player for the same price. It's funny how like these gaming companies will like eat that cost of getting that new tech, and then like people, that's how they end up getting more sales on a lot of their stuff. Also with this, there was some talk. Whoever this company was that interviewed Nintendo during their earnings call, they did talk about Nintendo looking into buying or doing some acquisitions of their own, which we'll be talking about a little bit later. Since we haven't recorded since all these major acquisitions have happened, they were asked about NFTs and the metaverse and everything, and it seems like the TLDR on this is that Nintendo is interested in the metaverse, not so much NFTs, but they're only interested in the metaverse if they can find a way to make it fun, which they kind of already did with Animal Crossing, because in a way, Animal Crossing New Horizons is kind of like a metaverse in itself. Do you guys kind of agree with that, or do you think it's like a different thing?
I kind of agree.
Kind of, it needs to be more open. I think to be metaverse, there's still a lot of hurdles. Like if I could some not seamlessly because load time stuff like that, but if I could just like somehow, like if we could all exist in like one town or something like that and seamlessly, see other people's, I would say that. But to me, it's still kind of, I still feel closed off from the world. I'm on a little island by myself, literally and figuratively. So
Yeah.
I kind of want it to be like the I think it was the Wii U, like the little huddle of me's you have when you boot up the console.
Yeah.
And you're just all like, oh yeah, this
Yeah.
person's playing Mario Kart,
The Miiverse. Yeah, I think it would work better if whenever I'm doing something on my island and somebody came by, I didn't have to watch them land their airplane. Like if I
yeah, we need more seamless transitions with all that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe the next Nintendo console will have an SSD or something, so maybe it can load games faster. We'll see. Even if it's like they somehow just cram like a 128 gig SSD in it, whatever. Let's make it work. Part of this also, they did briefly mention the next Switch, and that pretty much it. The whole goal with it is to use Nintendo's account system to be able for people to carry their Nintendo Switch games over to the next system. So there is going to be backwards compatibility, I guess, between the Switch and whatever comes next, which is pretty exciting because the Nintendo loves to make you pay for Super Mario Brothers on the NES 1,000 times, and eventually people are going to get tired of doing that. So that I guess it's good for them to finally be embracing backwards compatibility, so you don't have to do that anymore. So,
won't that be lovely?
Yeah.
They said that we're at the halfway point of the Switch life cycle, right?
Yes. Yep. Which makes you think: is there going to be a Pro model that comes out to help ease this gap?
I hope so.
Because the Switch definitely showing its age. It's it's running on, it's a 2017 console running on 2015 hardware, so it's definitely starting to show a little bit. Part of this also, and there's an image in the show notes if you see it in there about the release schedule for all of their games that they have lined up. And with this, this YouTuber RGT85, I watch a lot of his videos. He pointed out something very interesting with this, and I want to see if you guys feel the same way about it. So in the list, it's got everything listed by release date in here. So obviously Pokemon Legends Arceus was on the 28th. They have Triangle Strategy coming out on the 4th, which I think, so the Triangle Strategy is going to compete against Gran Turismo, I guess. And then Kirby and the Forgotten Land comes out on March 25th, so that's up against Ghostwire. Advance Wars is still listed as spring, but I am pretty sure that game's leaked release date, it popped up on the eShop, it was like April 8th or April 6th or something.
Yeah, it's like the first week of April.
So that's actually not too far away. And then for just 2022, they have Splatoon 3, the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, temporary title, and Bayonetta 3, which is leading people to believe that Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out before Bayonetta, potentially in like the fall, around like September, October type time frame, with Bayonetta coming out like in December, because they like to have a big December release on the Switch, and Bayonetta kind of seems like it could fill that gap with that. Do you guys feel the same way about this, or do you think Breath of the Wild is actually going to be farther out than either later in the year or into next year?
I feel like it's going to be fall for Breath of the Wild. I just don't know.
I think it's coming out soon, as
Yeah.
we'll find out later today.
Maybe. I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
I just want to know the title. Just give me the title of the damn game.
It's called the sequel to The Legend of Zelda: The Breath of the Wild.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yes. What if it's called Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 The Adventure of Zelda? Since the first time they did a sequel was called The Adventure of Link, this one's called The Adventure of Zelda.
That would be cool.
Legend of Zelda: The Young and the Breathless.
That's the best title I've heard someone call it. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. All right, and then let's talk about Pokemon Legends Arceus before we get back to talking about this Nintendo Direct predictions. We've all been playing it. This game sold 6.5 million copies in its opening weekend, which is on track to be the second best-selling Switch game of all time, behind Animal Crossing New Horizons. Obviously did better than Diamond and Pearl. So yeah, let's talk about it. What's everyone's thoughts about Pokemon Legends Arceus? Like, just first impressions. How does it feel to be playing a Pokemon game in a different format than what we're used to?
I love it.
Me too.
My only complaint, and I think it's kind of like a sound that's been heard around the internet already, is the draw distance, which is so damn shitty.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, and you can start to ignore it, but it's still jarring. It's a wonderful game.
You want to hear my hot take on it, though? Pokemon Legends Arceus has less pop-in than Halo Infinite.
Damn.
just throwing that out there. My only gripe with the whole game is there's like, and maybe it just happens in the next one, I just want voice acting. Like, that game needs something, even if it's just them making like grunting sounds, like yeah, like Ocarina of Time grunting sounds, like something. Like there's a point in the game. Well, there's 2 points in the game. The first one happens when you're being walked into the city, and you're walking behind the professor, and there's all these characters on the side of the street, and they're like, the little bubbles are popping up, like what they're talking about. You're like, who the hell is that? Why are they dressed so stupid? Blah blah blah. And like, I would love for them to just say that shit out loud. Just say it. And then there's a point later in the game, I'm not going to spoil, that there's a similar scenario to that, and it would be interesting to hear them do that again. And just, I don't know, just something. Like Breath of the Wild, like the whole game wasn't voice acted, but the important parts of the game were voice acted.
Right.
And I know a lot of people are drawing comparisons between this game and Breath of the Wild. I know Richard kind of mentioned something about how he didn't feel that way. I kind of don't feel that way after playing the game.
This world is so much more alive.
Yeah. It's just I don't play Pokemon games for the story. I play them for how fun they are, and I also don't play games necessarily for how gorgeous they are. TV shows and movies, yes. Games, no. This game looks like a DVD, but
And like our early generation DVD.
More like a VA. If there was like a upscaled VHS, this is what it looks like.
From two of the same team that thought about working on Shrek.
Yeah. But no, I the game itself is fun. It's definitely a different take on Pokemon. And this game the series has needed something to break the mold, because they've been using the same formula for 20 years now. So yeah, it's Richard, how are you feeling about Pokemon Legends?
You put in the show notes, is PLA the best Pokemon game of all time? If you ask my nephew that, he would tell you no. But if you ask me that, I would say yes. I've never liked the mechanic of literally almost every Pokemon that came before this. I don't have any desire the whole like gyms and all that stuff. I've never been into it. It's never been able to draw me in like this one has. And as far as should this be the new direction, I think it should be the new direction for a series of Pokemon. I don't think that I don't want to come off as entitled and say yes. All the entire fan base, the games that you've loved. Fuck that, fuck you. This is what we're doing now. I don't care what you think. But I think as a series, I think they should build off of it. I think that this is a good, firm foundation. If they were going to continue this format, I think that at least what I would do, and here I may lose some people because I really love survival games. So I think if you incorporated like survival elements, like maybe, you so cliche, but you crash land somewhere, and you're in a position where you have to survive, but there's Pokemon all around. If there was maybe more intricate crafting trees, like right now you get resources, you make an item, but you don't have anything where you get resources to make this item and then this item, and then you use those two items to make this item. Maybe some more complex crafting trees. If you're going to do a survival aspect, or even if maybe you wanted to go with, maybe you don't want to be some kid that falls out of a hole, and they're like, oh, hey, make this encyclopedia.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
if you
be
want
the kid that falls into a hole repeatedly.
yeah, but maybe you're the guy with the funny winter hat. What is his name? Professor Laventon or Laventon or whatever. Maybe more like him. What if you use crafting materials to build like actual devices or something? Or maybe you can have your own lab where you can create different stations to do different things. To really go in depth and go hard on this idea that instead of a trainer that's battling at gyms and it's like a sporting event, what if you are just a researcher? So I think that what they've established framework and a good grounding to really do something, even more monumental than what we're playing now.
Yeah. Chase, what are your thoughts on PLA?
I just stayed. Actually, that's why I'm so sleepy this morning, because I stayed up and I got the last few Pokemon that I needed to complete the decks.
Nice.
So yeah, I really enjoyed the game. I feel like there should be more person to person battles. I feel like that's something that's. I mean, I'm not against like I feel like this is more of a research type game than a battle type game, which I enjoy. But I just feel like there was the battles like between from the beginning of the game to like the credits or whatever. There's just not many battles.
Yeah.
No.
But I enjoyed everything about it. And the item space was like a big issue for me, because I hate running out of item space and you're going to pick something up. It's like, oh, you have no room, and you have to keep going back and like dropping stuff off.
Just hit that dude up at Town Hall or whatever. He'll sell you some space.
That's where like almost all my money went.
That dude's a fucking scam, first off.
To be fair, like, where else is your money going to go, though? Like, I don't know why anybody would buy Pokeballs.
So...
You're out and about, man. Just get your damn apricots, hit the stones up. I mean, it's all right there.
Mm-hmm.
I was constantly finding myself running out of Pokeballs and was going to the shop and just
Mitch is not a crafter.
dumping a bunch of money in there.
I mean, I think the best part about the game is you can kind of play however you want. I mean,
very true.
Yeah.
You can run pell-mell into a group of Pokemon and just launch a bunch of Pokeballs like machine gun style before they all have a chance to notice you, or you can sneak up and use food and smoke balls and flashbangs and
that's the stuff
hoo-has
I
and
never
whatnot.
used any of that stuff, like smoke balls, the flash grenades, flashbangs, any of that stuff. Never even used it. Like, I didn't find a need for it. I would throw berries and stuff to feed the Pokemon.
I got a question, and the game has multiple endings. Mitch, you said that there's a different ending if you fill out the Pokedex. What do they consider filling out the Pokedex? Because I know
level 10.
There are some Pokemon that you only have access to if you have like a save file for
So
Diamond and Pearl.
those don't count.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to. Obviously, the big thing is if you complete the 5 areas, that's when you roll credits, I believe, the first time. And then the second part is getting the legendary Pokemon, and then the third one is completing the entire Pokedex. So, I believe that's right. So I'm at. God, how do I say this without spoiling things? I'm at the final battle before the second ending, I believe. I think that's the best way to put it. Yeah. I want to see them continue on this, continue this game. I don't know. Do you guys think there's going to be DLC for this one, or are they just going to start working on the next?
Well, I feel like they data mined, and there were like 400 something Pokemon in the game
Yeah.
total. I'm not sure if that just means includes all forms or whatever, but I believe that they're gonna probably, if they don't do like DLC, they'll just sprinkle more in just to keep people buying it. And so
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyone have anything else to add about Pokemon Legends Arceus before we move on to the last little bit of stuff? No. Okay. All right. It's like I said at the beginning, we obviously haven't recorded in like 3 weeks, and in the past 3 weeks, there's been a lot of acquisitions. The big one being that Xbox or Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard for 67 point something billion dollars, and then 2 weeks later, Sony announced they were buying Bungie for $3.6 billion.
Which is insane because they're both free on the eShop.
Yeah. So, we're in a world where everything's starting to get consolidated down, and I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how those things go. There's obviously legal disputes about whether Xbox should be allowed to buy Activision Blizzard. How much shit they're gonna have to deal with if the deal does go through. Bungie doesn't have it. It has its own problems with the same kind of stuff that Activision has, just to a lesser degree. I don't know. It's all interesting. Do you guys think? And obviously, both of these companies have said that this is not the end of the acquisition announcements this year. So, do y'all have any thoughts on who could be next for either one of them?
who's left really? It's like Ubisoft.
I mean, there's Ubisoft, Capcom, Sega, EA. My personal thought, I think that Sony may try to make a bid to buy Annapurna. I think that makes a lot of sense.
That would make a lot of sense for Sony. I feel like, yeah.
I know Xbox has mentioned that they want to get more into the Japanese gaming space. So a bid for Sega or Capcom. There's also Konami, but I think that's more of a Sony-tied PlayStation thing than an Xbox side.
But how likely is that like a Japanese company sells to an American company?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on, I guess, what kind of hole they find themselves in.
I kind of feel like culturally there's boundaries there too.
Yeah. What if Xbox buys Atari or something? Just another dead, really. But I mean, for the most part, but
They just put out a new console, man.
Yeah.
Xbox just buys KFC so they can have their own KFC console.
Oh yes. I almost forgot about that. I want that fried chicken smell in my room at all points in time.
Sony buys Bud Light.
I don't know. I'm sure that there's positive perks with acquisitions and stuff like that, but man, it's made things so damn toxic on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo
As
buys
far
a
as
Soldier Boy console,
fanboyism, and just the console wars and crap like that. We can't. I felt like we were almost kind of sort of getting away from it, and it's like cranked up in high gear.
Yeah.
And people are just downright hateful.
Mm-hmm. They really are. It's starting to become a problem. But I don't know, as far as like other acquisitions go, I don't know which other ones make sense really. Like, I would have loved, and this is a long time ago, like the studio's dead now, but I would love for Nintendo to have actually bought Alpha Dream, if y'all remember that studio. They're the ones who made all the Mario and Luigi games, instead of letting that company file for bankruptcy and not saving them, which means that we're never going to get Mario and Luigi games ever again, or at least under the through Alpha Dream. But Nintendo, like we were talking earlier, they've said that they're not really interested in buying other studios because they don't have like what was their wording, the Nintendo Vision or something, the Nintendo DNA. So I don't think that they will buy. The only one that makes sense if Nintendo bought someone was probably Monolith Soft because they do a lot of second party work helping them with a lot of their games, and then of course Xenoblade. But Monolith Soft also does. There's some other series that they also work on that goes to other platforms too. Richard,
I almost feel like Sony and Xbox are trying to emulate Nintendo. And I think what Nintendo said kind of hit the nail on the head. Nintendo doesn't need any other studios, wow, me be so positive about Nintendo. Mario, Luigi, Pokemon, Metroid, Kirby, it's Zelda. They're all bulletproof.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're gonna sell.
Yep.
And they're gonna sell damn well. So Nintendo doesn't need another. Nintendo doesn't have that. And Sony and Microsoft, they bounce back and forth. They've got, I think Sony's coming into their own a lot quicker than Xbox is. I think they have their own little niche appeal with a certain, group of franchises, stuff like that. You think God of War, Ratchet and Clank. It'd be nice, to see like a re-envisioning of like Jak and Daxter, but some more iconic things. I know Microsoft's sort of thrown a monkey wrench in that because they now own Crash Bandicoot. But I think as far as fan bases go, talking about toxicity and stuff like that, they announced that the purchase of Bungie, that they still were not, that it was still in a multi-platform studio that was going to be making multi-platform games. And I don't think that Xbox has been that open and forthcoming. They're in the process of buying, Activision Blizzard. And with that comes Call of Duty. And they've announced that, what's been announced so far will be available. But, we don't know what Call of Duty is going to be in years to come. That may end up being exclusive. And just talking to people in like guild chat on Elder Scrolls Online, that's is on PlayStation. That's a big topic of conversation is, the purchase of, Bethesda and ZeniMax and, what that means for PlayStation people. It's a dick move. It's a dick move to purchase a development studio that has made their name with multi-platform games and then suddenly build a paywall out of your own console around that. Mm-hmm. Now, with Starfield, I give Starfield a pass because that's a brand new IP. It doesn't have a mass appeal. So if that is Microsoft exclusive and always Microsoft exclusive, I think that's fair. But when it comes to Elder Scrolls 6, and they have every right to do so, they bought Bethesda. But if they put a console paywall around that title, I mean, that's pretty shitty. It really is.
Yeah. Hey, at least you have an Xbox now, right? So you can play it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna cancel Game Pass Ultimate though, and I may like do it when something's around, but there's nothing really on it that, it's $15 a month for nothing.
Yeah, it's
not as it's so weird because that was part of the reason why I bought it. Is I got myself so amped up. I was like, oh my god, it's such an expansive library. There's so much awesome stuff on it. And then I got it, and I actually looked at it, and I'm like, meh. It's not that much. I guess, all the Halos are on it. I don't play Halo. All the Gears of War. I'm not an Xbox guy. So, yeah, there's still not a big draw for Xbox. But, it's like my little clause where I can, my little backdoor entry into games that Microsoft has weaseled their way into purchasing.
All right, and so our last little bit of news. Obviously, there's a Nintendo Direct happening this afternoon at 4 p.m. Central Time for us. So, anyone got any last-minute predictions to talk about? And are we going to see Breath of the Wild 2? Are we going to get a name for it? Is Mario Kart 9 going to be there? They did say that they're focusing on games that are coming out in the first half of this year, but they always
They always throw in something a little extra, yeah.
They'll announce
So if that's the
games.
case, they're probably just going to talk about what Triangle Strategy, Kirby, and Advance Wars.
Unless there's
Which, I
something
mean,
we don't know about.
We've seen a lot
Splatoon.
about that, so.
Yeah, I think Splatoon's probably going to be like a June, July release. This is also a 40-minute direct, so I can't imagine them just spending 10 minutes talking about each of those 4 games.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we've seen Advanced Wars twice now. We've seen
That's a re-release. So
yeah, we've seen Kirby twice now. What was that one? Triangle Strategy. That's been. I mean, there's a whole demo you can play right now and give feedback on. So I mean, I don't think they'll spend a lot of time talking about those games. I think there's a lot of stuff we probably don't know about. They're probably going to announce some new like battle royale game or something because they love to do those. And well, whose anniversary is it this year? It's Metroid. Zelda's, I guess, is still technically going on, and I think last year was Donkey Kong's 40th anniversary, so I don't think they're going to do anything with that.
I think they're announcing the title to Breath of the Wild 2 today. I don't know.
So.
I feel it, man. I feel it.
I love the Young and the Breathless.
It's going to pop up, and all of a sudden it's going to say The Legend of Zelda, The Young and the Breathless. And we're all going to be like, oh my God, Michael, did you see that?
or the darkest timeline is they're going to go, hey, we know you're all here probably excited to see something about Zelda, but unfortunately we've had to delay this game to 2023, and then I'm just going to close out of the video and not watch the rest of it. They better hope that they put that at the end of the presentation and not at the beginning of it, or they're going to lose a lot of viewers. So.
I hope not. We were talking in group chat the other day. Nintendo has has started this year so strong. I don't want anything to take momentum away from them this year.
Yeah.
Feel like they need this. They need a win.
I would have loved if Breath of the Wild 2 could have came out in March, like on the 5 or 6 year anniversary of Breath of the Wild 2, and then they announced that Super Mario Odyssey 2 is coming out in October. Like everything, because I mean, you got Zelda getting a sequel, Splatoon's getting a sequel, Mario Kart may be getting a sequel, and so if Mario Odyssey got one too. And there's also rumors of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. They literally could repeat their 2017 lineup, but just make sequels to those games, just back to back. And Zelda versus Horizon Round 2, because that's how it went down the first time. Mario versus God of War.
Maybe they announce a new Punch Out. That'd be great.
Hey, that'd
be fantastic.
I was listening to Game Explain yesterday where they were doing their predictions, and there was a lot of people in there that were just like typing up Punch Out. I about sent a link to you at the time that I got.
Well, this is all right. So it was on a podcast. I'm going to paraphrase because I don't remember word for word, and I mean it's so weird because of the source. Mike Tyson on a podcast said that they were working on another Punch Out. That it was exciting. Actively being developed. And that was last year.
That's exciting.
And I know that a lot of people think, because, Tyson went through some legal battles and did a lot of bad things, and they believe that that's why he lost that whole thing with Mike Tyson's Punch Out and they replaced him with Mr. Dream. That's not true. Actually, his contract had just expired. It wasn't because of the things that he faced. But, even though he did face that a long time ago, man, he's really rejuvenated, his character. He's got that cartoon. He's kind of a cultural icon. And I mean, I'm not saying there's another Mike Tyson's Punch Out coming, but I don't think, I think that would increase draw.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the other thing, I would love to see a new F-Zero. I know it's not coming. Or a new Star Fox. Even if they ported Star Fox Zero over, but just gave it new controls. I always wanted to try that.
Star Fox Adventures.
Oh my God, yes! I'll tell you what. It's something I forgot I played. I booted up Star Fox 64 on the N64 online. Had a blast playing it for maybe like 2 hours the other day. Like I love like old school Star Fox. So. I remember playing Star Fox, was it Command on the DS, and it had like 4-player online co-op or something you could do, and it was fun. I had a lot of time playing with that. I would love
Dude,
to
that's
make
a that's a franchise. They could, wow, man, they could do so much with that.
yeah,
So
like,
much.
if there was ever a game other than Mario Kart or Smash that I think they could have a field day making like a live service game out of, I think Star Fox would be a good one.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of characters you can use, lots of different vehicles and power-ups and cosmetics they
Chips.
could sell.
Yeah.
You could genre merge so much shit with that.
Yeah.
You could add RPG elements. You've got like the fighter combat elements. You could do like on ground exploration, collecting elements. You could incorporate some crafting. I mean, wow,
Did y'all ever play
so much there.
Star Fox Assault on the GameCube? It was like this. So they released Star Fox Adventures, which is the one that Rare did, where it's like the dinosaur planet thing. And then a couple years later, they did Star Fox Assault, which was like your more traditional Star Fox, but it had 4-player local co-op, and you could play as any Star Fox, Star Wolf villain characters, anything. And it was a death match. Like all it had was like team deathmatch multiplayer if you played co-op. And you could jump in Landmasters and R-Wings and all sorts of other vehicles. You had every character had like their own specific type of gun that they would use, and that game was a lot of fun. I wish if that game had online multiplayer, I'd probably still be playing it. It was a lot of fun. So bring that back, Nintendo. Give me Star Fox Assault 2, and then that'll make up for you delaying Zelda, I guess.
So you've already got it in your mind. That's what they're going to delay it.
Yeah, I mean, I know them. They always delay Zelda games. Like,
Yeah, but they've already delayed this one, I feel like.
yeah, I guess.
Like for a while. I feel like
It
it should have came out a little bit ago.
It was like 2018 DLC. They got turned into a full sequel to the game, which is just crazy how things have come a long way. Because Majora's Mask, they made that game using the same assets in Breath of the Wild. They made that game in a year, and it's been 5 years since Breath of the Wild came out.
Yeah.
So, and they're using all the same assets, I guess. So,
It's time.
It is time. I hope it comes out this year, but we'll see. All right.
They're going to announce it today, man.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to change my attitude about it. They are going to announce.
They're going to announce it today, and it will not be delayed.
Yes.
I think Nintendo's riding a high, and today they're going to be. And I'm not talking to Google. They're riding a high, and they're going to keep going on that high, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do some trivia, and we'll wrap up. I know we were like, this is going to be a long episode, and I'm pretty sure it's been right at an hour. So
We're getting better.
All right. This week's trivia question is brought to you by Google. Where'd my notes go? So again, I like the idea of not revealing the trivia winner or reminding people of scores. I think it adds suspense. If you guys don't like that, we can reevaluate it. But I like it. I think it makes things interesting. So this week's trivia question is Pokemon related.
Oh no.
And it's based off of a Pokédex entry for a Pokemon. I guess, well, if it's in Arceus, I haven't seen it. What is the only known way to make a Ditto break from its transformation state and reveal itself? Do you throw water on it, make it laugh, turn off the lights, or feed it bones?
I feel like I should know this, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with make it laugh.
Just remember that Pokemon entries can be dark, and there's a whole quest about helping this kid not get carried away into the underworld by a drift limb.
I'm going to say feed it bones.
I'll go turn off the lights. I don't know.
You don't feed it bones.
Damn it.
That'd be weird though, like because Ditto is like such a blobby Pokemon, you feed it bones.
Well, that was your fault, Mitch. You said it was dark.
Yeah, he
I said it could
personally
be.
misled you.
I said it could be. I said it could be. You don't turn off the lights on it. You don't throw water on it, but you do make it laugh.
Okay.
So, Michael, you were on the board. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I knew
I
the
was
water
actually
thing.
I was gonna go with Michael's answer too, because I was like, dude, if anybody knows, it'll be him. I'm gonna say laugh too, but then you had to throw in that fucking dark shit, and I was like, it's the bone thing, because I don't know, something about with the Cubone, he wears the skull of his mom or something like that.
Mhm.
So that's where my mind started to go.
Bonus points. What Pokemon is Cubone actually supposed to be before it wears its dead mother's skull? It's not. This isn't confirmed. It's just like theorized, I guess.
Oh, the theory is the Kangaskhan baby.
The what?
You know,
Genghis Khan's baby.
Kangaskhan. It's like the big Pokemon that has like the belly that has like the little baby in it.
I don't know Pokemon, man.
It's a Gen 1 Pokemon. What are you talking about?
I have no idea.
I love that when I think it's in X and Y when Kangaskhan Mega evolves, nothing changes on the Pokemon. Just the baby just comes out of the pouch and then just starts fighting. So every time you attack twice.
Dude, like Legends is the first one I've played longer than 20 minutes.
Oh, that's why.
So
You don't get Kangaskhan until like Cinnabar Island in the first game or something like that. So that makes sense. All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and start wrapping things up for this episode. Richard, you got anything you want to plug this week?
yeah, check me out. I'm just now back in the swing of things. I posted the miniature of the Two-Face, which some people may have seen that before. But I've got quite a few. I just got to take the pictures. So I'm doing an image drop. I've got the new Hero Quest came out, so I got some set pieces that I'm going to showcase there. I got some more Marvel Legend Fallout miniatures. I got some Fallout miniatures about to pop up. So yeah, that's at Instagram and Facebook. No Mini Left Behind.
Yeah. Michael, anything?
Nothing posted yet, but I might post a build video soon of a computer I'm building for a friend.
Yeah. Fantastic. Jace, anything?
I think Target and Amazon right now have buy two get one free deals on a bunch of games, and as well as GameFly has their blowout deal going on right now. So if you're looking to buy anything else before all the games drop this coming month, then yeah, check those out. I think all the Pokemon games are buy two get one free right now as well.
Nice.
It just, I know we're wrapping up, but like, you know, the next few weeks, who's like, what's day ones? Anybody got any day ones?
I'm going for Horizon.
My Elden Ring is day one.
Dying Light 2 was my day one.
Oh, gotcha.
So, I haven't decided what my next move is going to be yet. I feel I'm leaning more towards Horizon because that's the sequel, so I want to know what happens next. And Elden Ring.
Well, I don't know, Mitch. You're going to be playing Dying Light for 500 hours, so
yeah. I think so. I put 20 so far. I've put 28 hours into Pokemon Legends, and I did that in a week. I think I've probably put maybe 15 hours so far into Dying Light 2, but the main campaign is only like 28 to 30 hours. And I'm not a collectathon man, so I'm not going to go and get every single ending and artifact and record and whatever the hell else is in this game. Like I'm gonna play it through the story and call it a day until the expansions drop for it. So I mean, I'm not spending 500 hours in Dying Light 2. I would imagine. I think my next move is probably Horizon, and then like I love Souls games. I've never beaten one. So at least I know when I get Horizon, I'm playing it with the intent of beating it, if that makes sense. So Elden Ring is just going to be like playing it for fun because I want to experience the game. And more or less, like, I'm going into it cautiously optimistic that I probably won't ever finish it. So.
Oh my gosh. Not with that kind of mindset. You got to go into it saying, I'm going to platinum this son of a bitch.
I've never platinumed a game before, so.
I have platinumed all from soft games so far.
The only game I've ever 100%ed is Breath of the Wild. Well, let me back up. 100% of the game whenever it's with like the achievements and quests and stuff like that. I guess Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey, because that's got a fuckload of things you can do, and it's actually got like an achievement list built into the game instead of being like, baked into the console, because Nintendo games are like that. So you kind of have to do it the way that they want you to do it.
I'm really curious about the difficulty of Elden Ring.
They've mentioned that it's not bad, or it's not.
I don't know.
It's made to not turn people away based off of difficulty or something.
See, I don't like that.
But we'll see.
I don't like adding people to my community. The game needs to kick you in the balls, and if you die, you die. What is that? The Apollo Creed? Not Apollo Creed. Dolph Lundgren. If you die, you die. So, I mean, that should be the outlook of all FromSoft games.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, if you want to find me anywhere, I'm on Twitter at Meechflow. I'm also on TikTok at Meechflow. I haven't uploaded a video in probably like 3 weeks. I'm surprised I haven't like lost all the followers I gained from that time where I blew up. But I've been posting videos of doing a hack on a Nintendo Wii, showing how you can. Well, the first episode was really first bit was literally just cleaning this thing because it was disgusting. I have the second video ready to go and haven't uploaded it, but it's how you actually soft hack the Wii so you can put GameCube games on a flash drive and play them off of a flash drive using the Nintendo emulator for the Wii. You can also get PS2 games, PS1 games, N64.
How well does the Wii play a GameCube game?
The GameCube games actually work really well.
Really?
But the N64 games, the emulation is terrible, so I don't recommend doing N64 games. But there's a lot of stuff you can do. Like this is the same hack you use to be able, if you wanted to hack Super Smash Bros. Brawl, to where you can do custom characters and move sets and skins and music and everything. You can do all that stuff with that too. But I'm doing this for a friend now. The whole goal was to just do GameCube games, because he went to, I guess it was McKay's or something, and bought a bunch of GameCube games, and he bought the Wind Waker, and it was $80.
Yeah,
the
it's
Wind
insane.
Waker. Michael went with me to pick up my car the other day in Chattanooga, and we went to McKay's, and they had a copy of Twilight Princess for the GameCube for $120. So no, absolutely not. Like for that price, you could find a moderately used Wii U and Twilight Princess HD for maybe like total probably $20 more, and just play the better version of that game.
Right.
But all right, well, thanks everyone for watching. I really enjoy getting back into this live format, and next time I'll try to be in a location where the sun's not going to blind everyone watching the video version of the show.
We'll see you where the sun doesn't shine.
There it is. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks guys for coming on the show. Michael, do you have a sponsor for this week's episode?
No, they all left during that hiatus. So sorry.
Well,
we're sponsorless.
Today's sponsor can be from this person in chat that I can't read their name, but just letting you know that Sister19LOL is online. So,
Thank you.